Hello and an amazing day, everyone. I'm Rizalyn Kalimlim Rosales from the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies at the University of the Philippines Open University. Today, we'll be going over the fifth module in the course Development Communication 208. This module is entitled Social Mobilization Definition and Role in Social Marketing. So I'm going to be presenting the sixth part of this module. So previous presenters, my classmates have discussed what social marketing is in relation to social mobilization and its role in development programs. So they've talked about the core definition, the foundations, and the historical development of social marketing. So here, we are going to explore how we can use marketing principles to not just inform people, but actually make lasting change. Let's break down the topics that we are going to be discussing. So, we're going to be exploring the objectives of social marketing, the promotion of social ideas and practices, the increasing acceptability of social behaviors, and connecting it to participation and empowerment. So, first, let's define social marketing again, just to recalibrate our ideas. Social marketing is defined as a social change management approach whose main objective is to increase acceptability of a social idea, cause, or practice. As we said here, its primary goal isn't financial profit, it's social gain. Unlike social marketing, we aren't selling a product for a price. We are promoting a voluntary behavior change. We don't force, we persuade. As a tool for hastening social change, social marketing has its own objectives. So let's look at these objectives. First, we are promoting social ideas, values, and practices. So we are advocating for ideas that align with development goal through people participation. Next, increasing and facilitating the acceptability of a social idea, cause, or practice. So we want to make a difficult cause feel like a natural choice. Next, we are reinforcing or changing the knowledge, attitudes, beliefs, skills, and practices of the target groups. We shift their mindsets and we want them to change what is this specific thing. Okay, next is we are resolving problems that a target group has. So we want to address the specific barriers to improve their living conditions. So, social marketing involves the following. First, we provide information to the target audience. We make sure that the people know that a solution either already exists or there is something that they can do to solve this problem. Next, we are creating awareness. We highlight why a change is necessary. Sometimes people don't even know that this is a problem or this is a problem that they are facing, but it has become normal to them. So we want to highlight why a change is necessary for them. And of course, and most importantly, a call to action. It's not enough for someone to say, I know smoking is bad. So the objective is for them to actually stop smoking. In short, social marketing is the bridge between knowing and doing. It's the difference between someone saying, I know smoking is bad, and that person actually doing something to stop themselves from smoking. They're actually putting out that cigarette for good. It's not enough for someone to say something, they have to do something to solve this problem. So, how do we promote an idea? Selling an idea is harder than selling something like a phone or a watch. It's because they can't touch it. So when we sell phones, we can show our clients what it is. We can have them touch it. We can have them explore the specifications. They have these very specific details that we can sell it to. However, you can't touch waste segregation or literacy or breastfeeding. These are ideas, social practices This is why we treat these practices as social products to make an idea viable. So, how do we do this? How do we make it viable? We use the four P's of social marketing. What is it? So, so four P's of social marketing is the product, the price, the place, and the promotion. Other presenters will go deeper on these concepts, but just know that these four P's are used to make social products attractive and accessible as a social good. I'll just go over them very briefly. So the product, so this is the social behavior or idea. The price is the cost, which is not just money, but it can also be the effort or time spent to make that change. The place is where individuals can access the service or information, and promotion are the communication channels we use. So, promoting an idea requires us to make it viable, as we said. However, a major hurdle in development is resistance. So this is only natural. People like their habits, and when we put something new to the table, sometimes they don't really want that. Um, Sometimes they question, why do we have to have this when we already have this thing that we've already been doing for generations, for years. And although they would always say that there's no problem in what we are already doing, that's why we need to create awareness that there is a problem with it. So, to increase the acceptability of a social idea or practice, we must ensure that the perceived benefits outweigh the costs. So, for example, if we want a farmer to adopt sustainable planting, we can't just say it's good. um it's easy to say the words, this is good for you, this will benefit you. We need to prove that it is culturally acceptable, economically viable, and easy to execute. Because, as we said, we tell a farmer that sustainable planting is good for them. However, what if it's not accepted in their community? They would be resistant to following this trend. They don't want to be the trailblazer on this field sometimes. What if it's not economically viable for them? What if they would say that I can't afford to do sustainable planting because blah blah blah, it's too costly. So we have to show them that it is economically viable. What if they say, "Oh, it's too difficult. We're already doing this thing for generations and we can continue doing it." No, we need to show them that it is easy to execute and they can do it themselves. So how do we do this? How do we make acceptability increased in these communities? So, first of all, we have social norming. This is where we show them that everyone else is already doing it. We show the community that it is already moving in this direction, that this is normal, that sustainable planting is normal in other communities. We show them that isn't something new, it isn't something that would fail, that it is already happening. And it is also important for them to hear it from someone else. So we use testimonials. We use trusted community leaders or individuals to validate behavior. So it's best to utilize trusted local voices rather than just outside experts. Because, for example, again, farmers would trust other farmers more than, let's say, a president of a corporation who promotes so sustainable farming. What they would say, what does this president of a corporation who doesn't even go down the field know? They would of course trust someone who is part of their community better. Next is repetition. Consistency is key. Repeat the message across all channels and fronts. We need to keep it consistent so that the policymakers to the individuals are hearing the same message. Okay, people often resist change because of social costs, like fear of being judged or the effort required. Thus, social marketing does it work to get the buy-in of multiple people. This is the policymakers, the corporate investors, the local leaders, and the direct beneficiaries. So this is where social marketing hits its peak, and it serves as the gateway to participation and empowerment. So these are the hallmarks of people centered development. True social marketing isn't top down, it's participatory. By involving the community in the development efforts, we ensure that the product is something they actually want and need. They aren't just passive receivers, but active participants to change. When social marketing successfully increases the acceptability of a practice, it fosters a sense of ownership among the community. This is the essence of empowerment, when a community no longer waits for an agency to act because they have the motivation and the tools to sustain change themselves. So, to wrap it up, social marketing isn't about manipulation, it's about motivation. By setting clear objectives, promoting meaningful ideas, increasing the acceptability of healthy behaviors, and fostering participation, we can drive real, lasting social change. All right, thank you for your time. Here are some of the references and more reading materials on the topic. Now, while I'd appreciate discussing more of this topic with you, drop by the forum questions I left behind and leave your comments. Thank you once again.